You see this thing? Too much work. Let's just watch some good old television.
What's going on?
We had a little accident while we were tidying.
You know, maybe it's my nostalgia glasses, but I'm starting to think that Australian TV isn't as good as it was back in the day. What do you know? It was my nostalgia glasses.
TerryByte.
Now, I'm not gonna act like 90s Australian TV was awfully different from any other countries, but any Aussie my age will remember the awesome lineup that graced us on ABC Kids.
Now, while we did have a lot of shows direct from the US and UK, such as Art Attack, there are a lot of homegrown shows as well. In fact, anyone abroad might have heard a few of them, such as Bananas in Pyjamas. But concurrently, there were many shows that stayed within Australia and hold a deep place within our hearts, such as Cheese TV, The Ferals, and of course, Round the Twist.
Based on the stories written by Paul Jennings, this is perhaps the epitome of a 90s style show. Starting in 1989, fuck, it's technically 80s. This was a show that focused on the Twist family, who moved into a lighthouse because that's a good idea. So why is Round the Twist memorable? Well, it was weird. So weird, in fact, that some episodes include references to flatulence, defecation, urination, vomiting, body odor, underwear, well alright, that's not that weird, birth, one involving a male, death, nudity, exhibitionism, genitalia, homosexuality, bestiality, coprophagia, infantilism, and I saved the best for last, incest.
Now for this retrospective, I picked one episode from each of the first 3 series. I remember these episodes quite vividly, and you're about to find out why.
So in the first season, we're looking at the episode, The Copy. So we see our 3 protagonists, Pete, Linda, and Bronson, in a room when Pete starts opening the cupboard.
Careful, you'll break it.
No, I'll murder you. We're not even meant to be in here.
Bronson's right, Pete. You shouldn't be in here. How dare you be in here?
Wow.
What is it?
Look at that.
Huh, I guess they were so surprised that they could talk even without moving their mouths. So it turns out the machine can clone things through the magic of crossfade transitions, which means...
When is someone gonna get cloned?
We've got a vow never to use this ever again.
Yes, don't bring along scientists to study this miracle of science that could affect everything we understand about the universe, just put it back together and never use it again. So after that scene, their father, Tony, gets a call about a school fundraiser, and...
Now that is a really nice booty.
So anyway, Tony is asked by one of the high school 30-year-olds.
We had everything set for the school oval, but it's been double booked, and the lighthouse would be perfect.
It also turns out that Linda has a crush on this middle-aged man named Hugh.
Wait, he's wearing a leather jacket, he's a douche.
The winner will be the one who runs up and down the most times. We'll have marshals at the top and at the... And at the, bottom.
Really? That prop was just for a joke? That was just ass. Meanwhile, Pete and Bronson start abusing the machine. Yeah, remember this line?
We've got a vow never to use this ever again.
Well, it took 3 minutes to go back on that. So we go to the next day, where the race is about to start.
On your marks.
Oh, look at that lip bite.
Jesus Christ, Linda, calm down there a bit, girl. Turn it down. Looks like you're about to eat his face or something.
But it turns out Linda is getting tired, so she decides to do the next best thing. Cheat! Yeah, you knew this was coming. After cloning the rabbit just to be safe, she decides to use the machine for herself, and witness the greatest of editing magic.
Holy shit! How did they do that? I don't know!
I've got to win that race. What do you reckon we should do? We can help each other. It'll be easy to do. For 2.
Your rhymes are poo. So after a full 3-minute montage of nothing but running, Linda wins the race.
And the winner of the trip to Melbourne with yours truly is... Linda Twist.
But uh-oh, looks like the rabbit is wreaking havoc because Linda apparently just left it in there. Idiot. Meanwhile, Bronson brings Nell, the next door neighbor, who also used to own the lighthouse with her husband, some cupcakes.
You've been using Tom's cloner, haven't you? Haven't you?
It's magic. It made me do it.
I knew I should have destroyed it when Tom died. None of his inventions worked.
What are you talking about? The cloning machine works perfectly.
Sets the balance of nature. You can't make something from nothing.
What happens to the first one?
After a while, they both start to decay.
By the way, guess what? Hugh's a dick. Gee, what gave it away? Was it the attitude? Was it the look? The middle-agedness? The goddamn leather jacket? So the two Lindas are on the train together because that's a good idea. In a different dress, may I just add, so they can hang around Hugh.
I always say what I think.
Well, when we get there, make sure you don't say anything. Just leave it up to me.
What a twist!
So after Hugh was being a dick, the Lindas ditch him after doing possibly the lamest thing ever.
Did I ever tell you about the time that
That was lame.
He turns out to be such a dork, a dag, a total dipstick.
So as the Lindas return home, the family has left a note warning about their demise.
The other girl is an unstable copy. For your own safety, the copy must be reversed. Stop! You can't! Let me do it!
Great acting there. Really felt the raw emotion of that line.
Stop!
So it turns out the machine breaks down and starts cross-fading everything out of existence, including the copy of Linda.
I'll never forget it.
And after one final ironic joke, that's the end.
So that's the taste of the first season. A little bit rough, but hey, what do you expect? It was made in the 80s. So now let's go to season 2 with an episode called Little Squirt.
We start off in a boys' toilet. Starting off high. That has got to be the most Aussie boys' toilet I've ever seen. It's basically a shipment container without a roof. So basically the guys are holding a competition to see how high they can piss up a wall.
Is this a thing? In my whole school life, was I just not shown the way of pissing up wall competitions? Was this really a thing? I'm gonna try that out.
Look how excited these guys are. How bored were kids before the internet that they had to look at people pissing as a form of entertainment? Actually, that still happens nowadays. Yeah, let's not get into that. So apparently the champion is the series bully, James Gribble, who I must say has the piss power of a faucet. So Bronson wants to have a go, and as you can guess, he doesn't do too well.
Oh, that's lovely.
Don't worry, mate. I remember my first time. I was a miserable failure too.
Real supportive brother there. So Bronson decides to chuck rocks into a river to let go of his anger. Meanwhile, the mayor of the town, who is also James Gribble's father, wants to build a dam in a river because he's an asshole. So anyway, a water mime, I think that's supposed to be a spirit. Doesn't look too spirity though. He's just black with a creepy white face. So Michael Jackson now thinks that Bronson threw all the rocks in the river.
I couldn't lift all them rocks on me own. Hey, cut it out! It's not my fault!
Apparently water spirits are idiots. And hence Bronson starts getting terrorized by the water spirit by getting wet. Alright, I mean, I guess you're using what you can, but you're just causing a mild annoyance. It's just water. Yeah, no, you're trying hard. I can respect that. After it floods the house, the siblings all get together to have the truth revealed.
My dad isn't going to stop building Aquaworld for anyone.
Oh, woe is me. If only I can do something. Like taking a few steps forward or to the side or fucking anywhere further from the goddamn fire truck. So anyway, Bronson and co finally confront Mayor Gribble. And you can gather what happens here.
Just stay away from the car. That's a valuable car, you know. Classic.
Yeah, okay, let me just put this right here. I think you'll need that.
It's true! She thinks Bronson's building the dam! And I'm not!
No, you're not. I am. And nothing's going to stop me. Certainly not an imaginary water spirit. Water spirit. Hey!
Yeah, and hilarity ensues.
They lured me into a minefield.
I warned you!
Is this true, Bronson?
It's a water spirit!
Water spirit. Bull twang.
Bull twang?
Bull twang.
And so, with this knowledge that going near water is pretty much mayhem, what does Mr. Gribble do? Go to a car wash.
You are so stupid.
And you'll never guess what? They get wet. And then they get dry. Amazing. So Gribble gives in and takes the rocks out. But what about the story arc at the beginning? Yes, here's one of the most memorable moments of the series. Bronson again enters the pissing competition, because that's where the big leagues are, and just watch.
Ladies and gentlemen!
When you hear that music, don't you just imagine a parabola of piss like that? And now it's time for the third season. And let me tell you, the third season has possibly the most famous episode of the entire series. Now for people out there who have seen the show, let me tell you which one I'm talking about. It's the one where Bronson swallows the fish. Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at the whirling derfish.
So it starts off with Bronson wanting to swim in a local competition with Pete. But of course, Gribble here always wins the weight. That's Gribble. So ungingified Gribble here always wins the competition.
Me, you, and Pete, right now. Unless you're chicken.
Hey, Bronson, right. Let's go.
Hey, I wasn't ready.
You know, for someone who's training for a swimming race, that's a pretty shit dive you got there, Pete. So after 2 minutes of watching them swim, Pete and Gribble finish the race very tightly, while Bronson is basically left in the ocean.
G'day, Bron. We're racing too. Wasn't Pete fantastic?
My god, that's some great parenting there, isn't it? You might as well just go up to him and say, "G'day, Bronson. Pete's my favourite. Step up your game, boyo."
Don't worry, you do it for sure on Saturday. Right, Bron? This is the second worst day of my life.
Wow, Bronson really isn't loved by his family at all, isn't he? Even his siblings don't notice him getting kidnapped while he's literally a meter behind them.
Let's chuck him back. Yeah.
You gotta just love how there's no staff in this aquarium.
Holy mackerel, are you alright? No. Not you, my whirling derfish.
Just give the kid a damn break, would you? God. He's been neglected by his father, his brother, and his sister. He gets bullied on for no reason and got dunked into a fish tank. And now you don't even ask him if he's alright?
So it appears that Bronson had swallowed the whirling derfish in the tank, which, wouldn't you know it, are the last 2 in the world. How coincidental. But it seems like they have strange effects on his body.
You see that face there? That is the face of a boy, nay, a man, who has possibly discovered the greatest thing conceivable.
Men's business.
Here it comes.
Bronson, you've got a whirly willy.
Exactly. Instant propeller, just add water.
Oi, Terry, where are you? What the hell's that?
Just what I need to win the big race and make Gribbs pay.
Bronson becomes a local celebrity after many witness him practicing in the ocean. That prepubescent Wang must be doing wonders.
It's like a motorboat with the propeller the size of matchsticks. It just doesn't work.
Meanwhile, Linda discovers Bronson's secret as the aquarium owner, who somehow found out where Bronson lives, visits to inquire about her missing dirtfish.
He's got a whirly... what?
Exactly. Ever since he swallowed one of your
Whirling dirtfish. And Jara's gone into a spiralling depression without her mate.
So Linda has to convince Bronson to cough up the fish before his mate dies. But Bronson, of course, wants to win the race before he can do so. But not before he turns into a douche.
Gotta listen to me about this fish. Love to, but things to do, people to see.
See, this is why no one likes you, Bronson. You get given a bone, and you turn into Bernard Tomic.
Do it! Faster!
Alright, enough with the kidnapping. My god, there's more kidnapping here than in the Taken series. So here we get a good look at the terrible early PS2 graphics as Bronson swallows the fish back and leaves, while the two women just stand there. But now it's time for the big race.
Oh, don't worry, Gribs. Rabbit's got an idea that'll put him out of the race for sure.
The jig's up, Gribs. I heard every word.
Oh, poor Pete.
Well, gee, Pete, what did you think was gonna happen?
The jig's up, Gribbs. I heard every...
I thought you had the safety on. I did.
So anyway, what's this big plan the bullies have? Super glue.
Stupid! Stupid!
So as the race is about to begin, Pete breaks out of the locker room and then somehow lands on a cart which launches him into the sea.
What, you're just gonna start the race? You're gonna let him drown just for a race? What the hell's wrong with this town? You openly neglect children, you let kidnaps happen in broad daylight, and now you're letting people drown? You're horrible. You're all horrible people.
So Bronson goes to save Pete from drowning and...
Bullshit.
Well, after watching the stupidest thing I've ever seen, Bronson returns Pete to the shore, then flies back to the race.
Go, Jara. Don't give up. Go get your fish.
Did you ask permission to do that? What if they were freshwater? You might have killed the last fish of a whatever. So the fish somehow coerces its mate to vomit out Bronson in the middle of the race, causing him to lose his whirling willy. This of course means he loses the race. However, he was so close that the whole town cheers him on anyway, proving to children everywhere that love and affection from your family and friends can only be earned through winning.
And there was my look back at possibly the most fondly remembered of Australian shows of the 90s and early 2000s. Does it hold up? Meh.
I will say that it definitely did not age well. This is not like a Magnus opus or anything. It'll only entertain people who are really into its weirdness that Paul Jennings is known for, or for people who watch it for the nostalgia. But this definitely pushed the boundaries of what was acceptable for a G rating. I mean, I didn't even talk about the episode where Pete gets pregnant.
But saying all that, Round the Twist did get the balance right. Kids love gross and weird stuff, but it balances out well with supernatural occurrences that really piqued our curiosity. Now, while it did have overseas releases in the UK and the US, it will remain as an Aussie favourite, whether you like it or not. That doesn't make any sense. We'll take the show for what it is, with all of its bull twang, its fair goes, and its dipsticks. You perverts.
TerryByte.
Playboy, the magazine that led most guys on a whirlwind of sexual confusion at the onset of puberty. It's a magazine that mixed naked women and smut with a touch of sophistication and class. So in other words, douchebaggery.
And what better way, as a single male, can I objectify women in the name of high culture and class than by playing Playboy the Mansion?
When I was around 12 on the brink of puberty, destroying my cute as sin face and covering it with pimples which I still get sometimes, my eyes were always drawn to this game cover. In any video rental or game store, my eyes, fascinated by my newfound obsession with ladies, would always scan out this cover in order to have a sneaky look at the back. I would always look very intently at these, sexy pictures, while darting my eyes this way and that, so that my mum wouldn't catch me eye-humping these pixels. Play it the Playboy way, throw rocking parties, and manage your guests and social interactions. Oh boy, look at those quotation marks! We all know what that means!
Regardless of the fact I've never played this game before, this cover has always stuck in my mind as a catalyst that turned me into a sex-driven maniac. Or as the public call it, the male mind.
And now that I'm well older than 15 and have a YouTube channel that basically means I have any excuse to play a game if I'm going to review it, I picked it up. But before we get into that, let me just say that
the PS2 version's no good. Huh. So I got it for PC. Insert your own masturbation joke here.
Oh my god. Oh boy. Is that really the song you want to go with? When I hear the Playboy Mansion, what do you usually hear? Smooth jazz? Gentle piano? A song that could pass off in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2?
Oh boy, I'm horny now.
Well, they didn't waste any time, did they? Heffy, heffy, heffy. Kinda looks like Clark Kent, doesn't it? Surrounded by, watermelon tits, with women attached to them. My god, look at those things! Do I have to blur this? Is this too graphic for YouTube? And we all know that sexual stuff is not tolerated on YouTube.
You know what? I'll give your stomach one kiss.
Gotta love how there's the token black and Asian woman there, just to show that women of all races can be objectified. So what's our first task in our sexed up Playboy adventure? Hire people and build an office.
That's hot.
So, surprisingly, you actually have to run the magazine itself. It's not just roaming a mansion and sexing up beautiful Playboy models. You have to procure articles, essays, photo shoots, covers, and pictorials. Not only that, but you can mess around the price of each magazine and the ads within it and how it affects the readership. Holy moly. So really, when the back of the box asks you to build the most decadent empire, it really meant its emphasis. We are building the mansion just so Hef can go and enjoy it. Playboy, the mansion builder.
Dick Rosenzweig here, Hef. Playboy magazine's chief of staff.
Oh come on, your name is Dick?
So as you can easily tell, this game looks and plays a lot like The Sims, big surprise. The layout of the menu down there really does mimic it, with a bunch of bars determining people's moods. It's a fairly simple budget version of what The Sims was back in the day. But you'll notice one problem. You only play as Hef. Yeah, you can't control any of the other characters, just Hef himself. All the other NPCs you have no control over, you just need to befriend them in, many different ways. So I'm 5 minutes in, and I basically read a whole dictionary worth of words. They just bombard you with all this info, all these menus, strategies, submenus, tables, money, staff, symbols, bars, in so little time. Come on, where are the boobies? I came here for boobies, and I'm gonna see some boobies.
Whoa! We got tits! We got tits! Wow! Yes! We got tits! Wow! Yes! We got tits! We got tits! Yes! Yeah! Yeah! Yes! We got him! We got him! Yes! Yes!
Well, that was a waste of $16. Jesus Christ. Okay.
You know, for as much as I did that freak out and overacting and stuff, I'm pretty sure 13-year-old me would have highly enjoyed that.
My god, look how much they jiggle. They jiggle as much as, well, video game boobs. Really, this is kind of disappointing. I mean, I know I wanted to see, we wanted to see some nips, but without any build-up, it's just breasts. Think about how much time it takes to see some action in Honey Pop. There's a proper build-up to each date, meaning that the actual naked pictures at the end are rewarding. Not that I would know. I mean, it's not like I've played Honey Pop for over 10 hours getting all the pictures. No, I wouldn't do that. No, I'd just mac on Haley and Stardew. So basically, it's like The Sims, but with the pixelation turned off. Hey guys, we found the code now, we don't need cheapplayer.com anymore! So for our first magazine, we just have to get a centerfold shoot to finish it off. Pretty basic. So we hire a photographer and ask Julie here for the cover. Ooh, look at her. My god, it's like she's wearing a couple of necklaces as a bra. I mean, we went from 200 polygons to 200,000. Is that a lot? Is that a lot of polygons? I don't know anything about games. I guess this is the portion of the game where the developers expected us to grab our tissues, so they put her in a lot of different poses. Couple of winks. Oh, hello there. Grab a couple of pictures and we submit it for the magazine, and 2.5 stars? I mean, I wouldn't give it a solid 5, but a good 3.5 is what I expected. So, what determines the quality of a shot? The pose, the lighting, the background, camera quality, ISO, angles, hair, costumes, jiggliness of boobs? Well, none of that matters. What matters is this 5-star rating. Julie here is 3/5 of 1 star. Boy, that's gotta hurt. And my photographer that I hired is, well, 1/5 of a star. But we aren't playing this game for the photo shoots or the business side of things. We're playing this for the SEXYTIMES. Getting to do the bed dance is actually quite easy. Just talk to them. Constantly. Just watch them talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Do a pickup line, flirt a bit, some romantic talking. Have Victoria here be an awkward third wheel and then have a kiss. Victoria still tries to get my attention and then have sex on the couch. Whoa! Just had to crank that all the way to 11, didn't we? I mean, it's sex on the couch. They aren't even bothered to climb some stairs for some privacy. They're willing to do it in front of Victoria, who is obviously interested in me, trying to get my attention away from Julie here. But I mean, how could I resist such a beautiful girl as Julie, who is 3/5 out of 5? Now, I can't show you the actual sex, not because it's too graphic. Far from it, it's comical. It's just because the nipples are flying everywhere and I can't be bothered to blur it out. So instead, I'll demonstrate with these 2 yarn Yoshis. Yeah, this is gonna kill a childhood or two. So first off, they never take their undies. That just doesn't work. We have one where it's a lap dance and then she basically falls right on Hef's groin and he just laughs off the pain as they dry hump for 5 seconds. There's even a more hilarious one where Hef literally picks up the girl upside down and motorboats her and then she flips over and gives a booty shake. That is just amazing, but not very sexy. And well, that's it. Their sex is surprisingly underwhelming, just like my actual life. You don't feel you've earned the affection of these fictional women. You just talk to them for literally 3 minutes and you get to have sex. And almost everything you do will raise their affection for you. So really, you only have 3 relationships with people: casual, business, and sex. Oh, that's a bit too real. On top of that, there are all these needs and wants that need to be fulfilled, much like The Sims with their needs bar. But this is where the game falls flat. Literally almost anything you do succeeds and fills any bar that you concentrate on, with it only rarely failing. I'm sure the bars have something to do with this, like maybe it fills slightly faster, and maybe if you ask them to do a job or a photo shoot, it'll be slightly higher quality. But that's just a hypothesis. Other than that, I don't see the point. And here's the kicker, you only play as Hef. Yeah, you can't control anyone else, so really their needs and wants are pointless. I mean, what's the point of that, in all honesty? It serves as a very minor barrier to the sex, which is apparently all the women are good for in this game. So I've talked a lot about the first maybe 15 minutes of the game. But you know why? Because this is literally it. You publish a magazine, you get money, you hire better staff, you host parties to talk to people, kiss ass, get ass, and then write articles, pictorials, interviews, and photo shoots, which by the way, still doesn't matter what the hell you capture. I'm sure the punters will love this sexy shot.
That's one of your best centerfolds ever.
The worst thing, honestly, is that there's no way for your employees that you hire to improve their skills. The more magazines you publish, other staff will be offered that have a higher skill level, and you just fire the lower level workers. That's the best way to save monthly wages. Just fire weak employees and replace them willy-nilly. And watch them cry. So, not only are we using women, but now also our staff. It offers nothing to let you live out your Playboy fantasy. It makes you worry about profits, ad revenue, and making the covers as sexy as possible to bait people in. Oops, did I just say the job description for a YouTuber? It's kind of ironic that the 2 sexual games that got my attention back in the day were pretty opposite, in fact. We Dare wasn't sexy at all, but it had some gameplay, while Playboy had a lot of sexy stuff.
but absolutely no gameplay. But they do have some similarities like Ubisoft.
And again, you can't find Playboy the Mansion anywhere on their site. Okay, to be fair, they just published a game, but does that really matter? Even if this is a porny game, I'm quite sad they just didn't think about the overall replayability. I published 4 magazines, the latest one looking like a gardening edition, and I just kept getting more money, and existing in my sad existence playing this boring sim ripoff.
Well, that sucked. Probably go to bed alone. Again. As always. Huh? Who's there?
I just like to, it's a bit faulty I think, so I got this last week. Yeah. And I don't know.
What's wrong with this one?
I'll show you actually. I mean, look at this. Like, that's how it came out, man. I don't know what to tell you, but it came, like the tape was here and it came like that. And I don't know what to tell you, dude. And he's actually honoring it. I really wasn't expecting this.
You want another one?
Sorry?
You want another one?
No, I don't think I need a replacement one. Well, I don't know, like, but like, yeah, because this wasn't my money. That like, this was someone else's. Basically, it's my Patreon supporters. You know, like William Gert, Ryan Herbs, Picano. They just sort of I don't know what to tell you, man. Sorry. Okay then. Thank you very much. I did it so bad. That was. Oh, I'm a terrible person.
You know, I've come to realise that Australia has moved past the corkats and crikeys that once stereotyped us.
What?
I mean, nowadays the stereotype is usually more along the lines of, how the fuck gang can't, eh? You want to go grab a goon bag and a Macca's run? Tell you what, I'm so good at perpetuating stereotypes. I should just make that my whole channel. What's up, YouTube?
What's up, everybody?
I'm TerryByte, and Asian people, am I right? Anyway, this is the top 10 things Asian guys like.
Going to Asia, or at least areas where lots of Asians live.
Are you honestly telling me that the thing Asian men like is the idea of Asia? Like, the continent they're from? And as for areas where lots of Asians live, that's called segregation and ethnic communities.
Number 6, hip-hop and R&B.
Hip-hop is one of the most popular music genres in the world.
Number 5, basketball. Man, get that out of here.
Basketball is one of the most popular sports in the world. So really, this list should be called Things People Like.
Number 1 thing that the 20-something-year-old Asian guy loves is the idea of being rich.
The idea of being rich. You mean in a capitalist society where money can give you security and a roof over your head and of course goods and services, only Asian men are the ones that want to get rich? Jeez, what sort of monkeys wrote this script? Probably Asian monkeys.
I'm supposed to be talking about Blinky Bill.
I tell you one thing, Blinky Bill is one of the most Australian kids shows out there. It stars a koala. And there you go, that's it. I honestly forget that Australia is a little country way down there, being under the impression that Blinky Bill was an internationally recognized icon of Australia in places like America, Canada, and England. But apparently not, according to these guys.
What's Blinky Bill?
What the hell is Blinky Bill?
The fuck even is that?
Mitch, you're Australian.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Blinky Bill was first written by Dorothy Wall all the way back in 1933 and is now considered a national children's classic, and hence adaptations were made. Back in the 80s, there was The New Adventures of Blinky Bill, yeah, great title there, featuring hairspray and perms that really take up the whole frame. Nah mate, some drongo stole it and put it on her head.
Hey Charlie, what do you want a duck for?
Our 900's a really big one.
Yeah, and the 900's really great.
Excuse me, that's not the right response. The right response is, oh my god, there's a talking koala puppet in the bush! Also, Blinky is a misogynist.
Sam's a boy's name, and you look more like a girl to me. Anyway, I don't talk to girls.
But we aren't talking about this show. Ha! The animated version is probably the one that everyone remembers because it was on the ABC after school. It was just something to watch. So there were 3 seasons and I'll pick one from each. Let's dig into the first season with the very first episode.
Hi, Blinky.
Hello, Splodge.
So this was the Paragon Cafe.
Yeah.
Well, this is fun.
When I think about what the humans did to the village...
Of course, it's the humans. Always the bloody humans, ain't it? If Ferngully, Sonic Sat AM, Bambi, Captain Planet, Stop the Smoggies haven't taught us the whole human race is a cancer on the earth, then Blinky Bill sure will. Also, apparently when kangaroos get sad, they lose all frames of animation. Yeah, that's just like my life in general. Wow, I never thought Blinky Bill would pull my heartstrings so early on in the... Does that snake have breasts?
Oh, I resent that slur.
Shame on you, Blinky. Don't be such an asp.
Because making fun of others' speech impediment is the best pick-me-up. So with the cafe gone, Blinky and Splodge go to see Mr. Gloop, the cafe owner, to get his old recipe so they can make it for themselves. But apparently, Mr. Gloop is too upset to think.
I'm Blinky Bill.
And I'm Splodge. Oh, yes. Winky Bill and Blodge.
No, that's dementia.
First, you mix a nut full of cups. Ooh, what a lovely flutterby.
Also, he developed ADHD. So all the kids come together to form a secret plan to reopen the cafe.
We were hiding from the dingoes. We have to be careful. The dingoes are still around, and we don't want them to hear our plan. Right, Marcia?
It's nice to know that racism is still alive and well between animals, isn't it?
So, by coincidence that can only be explained by bad writing, the dingoes come along to eavesdrop on them. And is he naked?
Oh my, how lewd.
So the dingoes want to figure out their plan. And how do they do it?
Yeah. Poor thing. A handsome lizard like you should be treated...
That's all the childhoods I've just killed.
So the kids want to reopen the Paragon Cafe, but the dingoes want to make it a room for themselves. And for some reason, the mayor agrees to the exclusive club that even he wouldn't be allowed to be in, as opposed to a business that he can receive tax money from to buy more miniature purple top hats. So Blinky and the gang wallow over the fact they may lose the cafe for good. So, what's the best plan?
On Bunyip Day this year, the King Bunyip is coming here. I'm surprised that the mayor hasn't organised an official reception yet.
Surprise, motherfucker.
What are you doing? Me? Well, I was just on my way to hurry up the dingo room workers. Why? Well, because I want it ready for Bunyip Day. Why? Because the youngest Bunyip is coming, of course. But the king would be too young for the dingo room. For the dingo room, yes. But we are not rebuilding the dingo room. We are rebuilding the, Paragon Cafe.
Hooray for the Paragon Cafe!
Wow. So Blinky knew that the mayor believed in the Bunyip, so then said a story so that he would overhear it, so that Mr. Wombat, a village elder, would come along to interrogate him about it, so then he would open the Paragon Cafe instead of the Dingo Den. What a bunch of bullshit.
So everyone believes the Bunyip King is coming to the Paragon Cafe reopening. Why? Because the dingoes said so. You know, the group no one trusts are spreading the rumor.
The dingoes are pretending the king is coming. Why?
To get us into as much trouble.
But Mr. Wombat has a plan.
What's the matter? What is going on?
Oh, we're really scared, Beaky.
How dare you insult me? I am the mayor.
Mayor Squeaky Beak.
Fish face.
Okay, dingoes, let me ask you something. You want the dingo den to be open. That's under the mayor's control. So the best thing to do is to directly insult him. What a bunch of bull twang.
Bull twang.
It's the king. The king.
The king! The king! The king?
The king?
The king?
The king?
The king.
The king!
The queen. Wait, no, that's not right. Sorry.
Your Majesty, you honor us with your presence.
Rise, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, if you guys are lost, a bunyip is a mythical creature in the Aboriginal community. While its description may vary from different time periods, it is mainly seen as a spirit that is feared yet respected for its ability to instill dread in others. That is not a bunyip.
Take off that silly costume.
I'll have that
And that.
and this.
What big false teeth you have. The game's over, Blinky.
Look!
Hi!
Yeah, that's what you get for not wearing any clothes, you weirdo.
The dingo gang will have to wash dishes at the cafe all summer.
Oh. What? But the two little kids, they didn't do anything. They were literally bystanders.
But at the end of the day, it was all a trick. Wow, what a twist. I am so enthralled.
Now, a year later, in 1996, Blinky Bill hit its second season on the ABC, so we're going to look at an episode that I personally remember the most. Blinky Goes Camping.
It starts off with Blinky and the gang waiting for class to start, when that fucking nudist dingo tries to sell a tent to Miss Magpie, the school teacher.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, that voice isn't going to get annoying at all, isn't it?
A little bird told me you were looking for a tent.
The little birds I know don't gossip.
Well, this one did.
Smooth as fuck. So it turns out the school's going on a camping trip.
Why? Why do they need to go camp? They live in the bush.
Good morning, Miss Magpie.
Oh, Mr. Wombat.
Oh, I don't like Mr. Wombat's approach there. Meanwhile, the dingoes figure out what to do with the tent now that they can't sell it, and
Oh, stop spreading your legs!
so blah blah blah, class doesn't like camping for a few minutes. Whoa. And then, coincidence strikes.
What a silly place they've camped in. You really shouldn't camp here, you know.
It's a free country.
If it rains, you'll be washed away.
Don't schoolma'am me. I was born bushwise.
It's gonna rain, isn't it?
Now camping hijinks again. Yay.
Marcia, stop that at once. There's only one more, miss.
As you can imagine, nothing goes well. The koalas mess up the food, the platypus gets wet, and then puts out the fire. It's all a bit of a mess, and Miss Magpie is at her wit's end. So how does she fix it?
She doesn't.
Your mum. And it says to look in the bottom of everyone's pack. And we did. Look what we found. How did our mothers ever guess we'd get hungry?
So the moral of this episode is to just mooch off your parents when the going gets tough. Well, that is the Australian dream after all. So after the feast, the platypus, his name is Flap by the way, is drying his clothes because hey, he doesn't want to be naked like the weird old dingo. So, hold on. Miss Magpie's not wearing any clothes either. Okay, whatever. But oh no, a storm is coming. Gee, I wonder what's going to happen to the dingoes. Maybe exactly what Miss Magpie said was gonna happen because foreshadowing, because if it wasn't for this plot point, this may have been the most boring episode I've ever watched. No, that couldn't be right. That twist would be too smart. There must be a simpler... Oh my god, it happened. It must be my birthday. Wow, I didn't expect that. So the dingoes cry for help. Blinky saves them with the help of his classmates. Then they all laugh it off, forgetting the fact that people's lives were at risk merely seconds before. Oh, the good old 90s. How art thou missed thee. Now, after the second season, the third season obviously aired. 8 years later. But it wasn't set in Australia anymore. Oh no, they took a big step in the medium. Because it's Blinky Bill in space! Nah, actually, they just go global. Blinky sets a bunch of circus animals free and now have to return them to their country of origin throughout the entire series. So we're looking at an episode called...
Diamonds are forever.
Whoa there! What the hell happened to the animation here? Why am I speaking like this? What the hell happened to everything? How did we go from this pretty cool watercolor background to clip art? What happened? The animation studio didn't change. Hell, the only thing that did change was that it was aired on Channel 7. That's why. So Blinky and the gang of circus animals is in Africa, where they stumble across some ostriches. And this is where I have to address the elephant in the room, and why I don't really like Blinky Bill in general. I hate this goddamn koala. He's supposed to be like a naughty kid who's cheeky but lovable, but I'm sorry. He's just Nelson from The Simpsons.
Day is so important. It's said to be the one day of the year.
You don't call me Wombo.
Sorry, Wombo.
Now I'm glad he got turned into a lifeless puppet. So the ostriches were plucked of their feathers, and Blinky just loves making fun of their misery.
Forget to put your feathers on. Better than being nude.
Alright, calm down, Blinky. It wasn't that funny. Blinky. Blinky?
I think you hurt their feelings, Blinky.
It's not my fault they're so funny looking.
So we get introduced to all the circus animals that I would name for you, but I can't be bothered.
Now you see the ring. I place it in this scarf. Abracadabra! Ring disappear. And voila! The ring is gone. Here it is.
Let me try that.
No, not my necklace.
You see this asshole? He just goes into a jewelry box without permission and proceeds to steal a bunch of shit. You see, that's not a lovable kid. That's an asshole move. A koala cunt.
Give it back.
Oh, absolutely. Just as soon as I've done my magic trick.
She's pleading with him to give it back and he's still not returning it. Like, what the fuck? Also, does no one notice how suspicious this toucan is? Because as you guessed, this toucan is a double crosser with the circus folk who are trying to get the animals back. It's because he's black, isn't it? Bada bing, bada boom, Blinky fucked up.
And now to complete my magic trick. Right, Oh, no.
What are you doing?
I don't understand. The necklace is not here.
Can we just skin him now? So Tico gives the ringmaster the diamonds, and how is he flying? He's not flapping his wings. Anyway, the ringmaster plans to sell the bracelet, double-crossing Tico, who wants to reopen the circus for some reason, and there you go, that's the plot.
Oh, this balloon!
Master says true happiness does not come from material objects.
Well, Master's wrong.
Yes, Master is wrong.
So Tico reveals the ringmaster's plan and the gang chase after them.
This isn't going to be easy. We need to get that necklace without getting caught ourselves.
No shit! So as the ringmaster gets away, Penelope goes after in a fit of passion, but ends up getting caught. And yet Blinky still feels no guilt about being the cause of her kidnapping.
They've still got the necklace. They've got Penelope.
Yeah, we'll never catch up with that truck. Or if they belong to those ostriches we saw this morning.
That's it, Flap.
Oh, I wish I wasn't a dickhead to them beforehand, otherwise they might have helped us.
Blinky Bill's chasing us. Shall we stop and catch him?
No!
No? As in, you want him to catch you? What are you saying no to here?
Go faster! They're getting away!
Oh yeah, just go faster! Why didn't you do that before the truck accelerated?
I'll get rid of him.
Hey guys, why don't you just stop the car? Like, you can just get out and pick them up and throw them away. I'm pretty sure 2 grown men can handle that.
I was worried for a moment.
Oh.
Mr. Circus, look at that!
Why?
Wait, the panda can actually talk? So the two get cornered as the panda does a bait and switch.
What are you doing?
Oh, get it?
Wow, he just ran straight into him, didn't he? That was like his actual goal, to murder someone while committing suicide. But Blinky doesn't know about the trick because, you know, he's an idiot.
Actually, no, don't tell me. No excuse is gonna make me any less cross.
Yeah, Panda, how dare you mess up? You know, unlike Blinky. He just took Penelope's bracelet without permission, got stolen, caused her to get kidnapped, and made the ostriches overwork themselves to exhaustion. Blinky Bill is an asshole, alright?
What happened? Have you got the necklace? No. It sort of disappeared into the river. What happened to the brothers? Oh, they're hanging around. I'm afraid it's gone.
Gone?
Into the river.
That necklace was très important to me. But you tried very hard to make things right. And that also is important.
Really?
Absolutely.
Really, you gonna forgive him for all that crap? Look at Curious George here, he's just as dumbfounded at that apology. But of course, Ling Ling, yes that is actually her name, reveals that she had the bracelet all along.
Maybe you never threw it in the river at all.
Master says a magician never reveals her secrets.
She's like the video game tutorial after you die a bunch of times in the same level.
And with that, it brings this episode to a close with the fastest credits I've ever seen. Even the animators didn't want to be credited in this.
Okay, to be fair, that critique of the last episode was a bit harsh, but that's because Blinky Bill's assholish ways was really exacerbated in it. But overall, it's an innocent enough series. It's not amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's iconic enough to remain in a lot of people's memories, whether prominent or faded. And yes, I did enjoy rewatching these episodes, hell, even if they were a little bit crappy. So here's to keeping Blinky Bill, a nostalgic Australian classic. But then, everything changed when the Hollywood nation attacked.
Hola, soy Terry, and we're on a new adventure. And this is my friend, Boots. We're on an adventure to find a new game to review. Isn't that right, Boots?
I hate you.
Oh no, that is no good, isn't it? Now what do we say to people who hate us? That's right! No one cares, you piece of shit! Ooh. Hello, Mr. Owl. Can I help you with something? Ooh. Mr. Owl, who are you talking about? Ooh. Oh, Mr. Owl, are you missing somebody? Ooh. Oh no, maybe Mr. Owl has forgotten who he's talking about. Ooh.
The fuck did you say about my mother?
Oh, fuck, man.
guess we gotta review a game now, because fucking Al here. He's a dickhead. Por favor, Mr. Al.
TerryByte.
Dora the Explorer, a show about a little girl, her talking monkey and backpack teaching you Spanish and educating preschoolers. It's...
That dragon's roar is really loud.
Yeah, well, I'm a 21-year-old guy. This shit is pretty boring to me. And now we have a game. Dora the Explorer, Journey to the Purple Planet. Excellent. Blast off for an outer space adventure with Dora and Boots to help them return their space creature friends to the Purple Planet. What, do they own the aliens now? Interactive gameplay. So, you mean gameplay? Now, because I'm indifferent and unable to make an opinion, I think we should give all games a chance. After all, Hello Kitty, Roller Rescue, we got to beat the shit out of aliens, so maybe we'll do the same here. You ready, Cedric? Vamonos! This shit's so racist, isn't it?
Hola, soy Dora. We're looking up at outer space. What's that? Wow, it's a flying saucer.
Well, that escalated quickly. So here we meet our Play-Doh friends.
¿Cómo se llaman?
Yeah, Dora, I'm sure the aliens speak Spanish.
Blinky. Inky. Blinky. Dinky.
Yep, I forgot all of your names already.
How will we get to the Purple Planet? We don't have a rocket ship. We have to find Isa the iguana. She has a rocket ship we can borrow.
Oh, how convenient.
Home! Home! Gracias!
Oh, so they do know Spanish.
I'm the map!
Nope, you're not. That's the map. You're an irrelevant piece of paper.
I know how to get to Isa's rocket ship on top of Tall Mountain.
My god, Map sounds like a really whiny girlfriend. We have to get to Tall Mountain and try to collect space gems and...
Say it with me. River, sand, lake, Tall Mountain.
So the goal is to walk around, collect gems, and getting to the end of the level. And this is all you do. Bye! Hey guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you really enjoyed it, why don't you like and subscribe? And that's... Alright, there's more to this game. No, actually I lied. Hey guys, this really is the end of the video, so thanks so much for watching. So let me repeat, the idea is to just walk to the end of the level while collecting gems. Oh, and the X button jumps. And the square. And circle. And triangle. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Gems are floating around the land and in treasure chests where the locks aren't even clamped onto them properly. So yeah, honestly, this is it. No enemies, no attack, not even really any platforming. It's just walking. 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 Oh hey, what's in this bush? Oh well, guess I'm the bush. You know, I almost forgot to mention that throughout this entire walking adventure, Boots is always staring at you with his dead, vacant, soul-sucking eyes. He's always watching, staring until you turn away, and then he'll strike. Oh cool, hopping on turtles, blomp blomp blomp. Oh my god, he's destroying everything I enjoy. What is this monster? So on our trip, we also pick up items that we use to help others, such as Dinky here. Alright, if your name is Dinky, I think you're supposed to die. So after Dora and the game almost aggressively tells you to press X, I get taken to the item screen. Oh Jesus! That's scary, man!
It's staring right at me. 3D models staring at me. It's weird, man. Oh god, please stop. They're all looking at me. Stop. They're all looking. So after putting on climbing boots that we just found in the jungle, we can climb up our wall. And the hair doesn't fall. Quality.
A rocket ship, everyone. First, you need to wear spacesuits so you'll be safe in outer space.
Well, I'm so glad I found these spacesuits in the middle of the forest. And now we need to visit 4 different colored planets to finally reach the purple planets. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the easiest minigame in the world.
We made it to the green planet. It's so green.
Even for a toddler, that's idiotic.
I'm the map.
No, you're not. You're a rocket. I don't know what parallel universe you come from, but let me just say this. You are not a map. You are a rocket. Really, there isn't anything else to talk about. We are now in space, going across different colored planets to gather keys while meeting such eclectic characters like a talking door.
Hello, Robot Door. I'm Dora. And this is my friend Boots.
Hello, Mr. Door. I'm Terry, and this is my friend, Boots. Who are you talking to? And now, Yellow Planet.
Made it to the yellow planet. It's very yellow.
Boots, I swear to God. Alright, who brings a one-piece swimsuit into outer space? Oh boy, Simon Says. I seriously can't believe one of the minigames is Simon Says. Actually, I lied. They do it 3 times.
How are we supposed to get across this bubbly crater? We can't just fly. Look, Boots.
What is this shit?
Honestly, what did I expect? Well, I was expecting something a bit more after playing Hello Kitty. At least more than the original walking simulator. Man, this was way ahead of the curve. Dear Esther, directly influenced by Dora the Explorer. Journey to the Purple Planet. Proven. It even advertises that it's accessible for all ages, but I think that's just an excuse for being boring. Really, all this is walking around, collecting pointless items and minigames that barely count as minigames. Why does that sound so familiar? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Oh no! Flights. To release the bond of gravity one has on us, and to fly around is something we dreamt for centuries. Yes, we have planes and helicopters, but the pure majesty of just freely flying without a care in the world. Can you imagine that? And one of those attempts is our want for the hoverboard. Hovering is still a mystery to many, a piece of theatre, and stops us in our tracks, as we wonder how it's done, and if it's a possible reality for us. Can we ever accurately represent what it's like to be on a hoverboard? Well, I have news for you. We do have a game where you ride on a hoverboard, but you know, what could be coupled with the idea of a hoverboard? The idea of levitation itself, to make it seem even more magical. How about a bit of TerryByte? I want to take you back to the early 2000s. If you don't remember this time period because you're 12 years old, since my Undertale video attracted a bunch of young kids, so now I have an audience with the same age group ratio as Connor the Waffle. Allow me to remind you what it was like. Are you a cop?
Yes.
Well, fuck you. It was a dark time when Nikki Webster was giving out strawberry kisses, graphics looked like this and it was passable, and mobile phone ads were selling house spawners ringtones. But within all this misery of anti-authority, edginess and backwash 90s, there was a light. A single ray of light to help us kids through this rough patch.
Well, okay, also the PS2. And I'm not unfamiliar with the PS2, hell, it's probably my most talked about consoles that I review games on. And there are so many games that I love and have deep memories with. Regardless of all these games giving me such vivid memories, there was one game that I could not, for the life of me, remember properly. A hoverboard skate game. Whoa. My little mind was blown away by the prospect. I would play the demo for hours on end. So, how does a demo that had such an impact on me demote itself to just a distant memory? Why didn't I pick this up as soon as it came out?
Because it was never released in Australia. Big goddamn shock.
A fairly humble box art, honestly, but dang, look at that back. Just giving me that plain impact font. Whew, fancy. Okay, to be fair, I used poets in, but still, I got nothing to rebut with that, actually. So let's boot this game up. Man, what groovy music. I especially love the, oh shit, my CPU is through the roof noise. Story mode, ambitious. I'll give it that.
What the hell? Hey, what's going on?
Look for the others and find the Airblade.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Now look, I'm not one to complain about visuals, alright? I play Overwatch with everything on low and a rendering of 33%. And I put 100 hours into that. So I'm the last person to complain about graphics. But look at this! Why is everything so blurry?
And the faces are disturbing. Now to be fair, I can't knock the graphics. It was made in the first year of the PS2. The new technology was young and it had a hell of a lot of kinks to buffer out. But regardless, the animation is super stiff and the color, oh my god, the color. It's a given seeing how it was made in the edgy as fuck era. And many games copy the style of Dystopia. You know, the one with the big, bad authority controlling all free thinkers that being a young person in the 2000s just magically grants you. Alright, how can you not see them?
You shouldn't have.
What the?
Wow, I really felt the impact of that hit. If by impact you meant the waft of air from a foam sheet that wouldn't move an ant. And now it's time to ride a hoverboard. These controls are terrible, but for the right reasons. It really does feel like you're on a hoverboard. Like, impressively so. I'm honestly stunned at the physics, at least at first glance, really replicating that feeling of hovering.
But that's the problem. It replicates floating above the ground a little bit too well, so the controls are floaty.
The ebb and flow of riding the Airblade doesn't have the same accuracy of the Tony Hawk games. You feel as if you can't aim because of this super tight turning circle. Also, to brake, you have to press R1. It takes a long time to get used to because, well, we aren't driving a car, we're riding a board. Skateboards don't have handbrakes, guys. Cars do. If I was playing Burnout, this would make sense because that's how a car works, which you also developed. Yeah, Criterion, the makers of the Burnout games, were also behind Airblade. I guess the edginess just rubbed off to the point where the cuts turn into full-on collisions. You can grind and grab and do all those tricks I can't do. And also flip trick anywhere you like. It makes sense after all, but it really doesn't give an essence of skill. Really the only time you fall is if you run into things. And each level is a Tony Hawk style objective checklist, except without caring about the points. Because this is story mode, it needs to have a deep plot.
Oh, I'm not joking. They said that in the in-game documentary.
And kind of when you start a level, you have a little bit of the stories unravel to you.
What's going on?
They must be after that package Oscar brought back from work.
Well, let's go give it to
No
him.
way, dork.
I'm gonna keep on coming back to you.
An Airblade rather than something that's in contact with the floor.
A hoverboard.
Yeah, a hoverboard, you know, it's kind of...
So the first objective is to defeat some guards with your board.
That was easy.
So after I beat the cops, you have to grab this pole. Oh, that's it? Next is grinding on a limo, which somehow causes it to blow up. Okay, maybe that's why the government wants it. Not because it's a hoverboard that can change technology and transportation as we know it, but because it blows up cars by touching them. And I kid you not, one of the missions involves me knocking out snipers with a hoverboard. Come on, get up there. Oh, get up. No, okay, get up there. Oh, come on. Oh, holy shit, I'm gonna be sick. Ah, shit, I'm out of time.
Truly terrifying. I really feel for whoever you are.
What? I've got to do all these missions again? That's right, you fuck up, you gotta do all the missions again. This may seem minor, but I had to do this level 6 times. 6 times. Because I had no idea how to do that final mission until I found this pole that you need to swing on. If you mess this jump up, you have to climb all the way back up there to get another shot. But, by some miracle, I somehow finally beat the first level.
Dude, tell me you were watching. I was pulling some bitchin' moves.
Come on, hot dog. Let's get away from that chopper and find out what's going on.
It is story-led, so it's obviously quite character-driven and things.
Dude, tell me you were watching.
It's basically the same shit each time. Destroy things, vandalism, fuck the government, while some cyber hacking matrix shit goes on. Because this. And now we have to sneak into an Area 51 type place. On a hoverboard.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
Oh my god, I hate this damn arrow. It points towards the objective, sure, but it doesn't give any hint how to get there. And the graphics are so blurry and bland, it's hard to distinguish the right path. You may argue this sort of gameplay promotes you learning the maps and strategizing, but I also remember all the maps from most of the Tony Hawk games, because even though you have 2 minutes, you don't have to take the same path, so it encourages exploration. So you remember these maps through exploration and enjoyment, as opposed to forcing through it for a dumb YouTube video. It has the same problem as Disney Sports skateboarding, a linear path, but Airblade is far worse, because it gives you the illusion that it's open-ended and explorative because the maps make it seem so wide. You don't have this, hey, follow this line, you dumb shit. But essentially, you are doing that. It's just that you have to figure it out for yourself in a very forced manner without any good music and horrible controls. I know I defended the controls beforehand, but they're really starting to get on my nerves now. But I mean, I guess it has better controls than Disney Sports skateboarding. So, yay, you did it, woo, you don't suck as much as that game, woo. Here's another problem. There's no balance scale for grinding. Is it like SSX or Skate where you just slide off the rail afterwards? No, you still fall, straight on your ass. And we're back. So this is the second last level. You're on top of skyscrapers having to do a bunch of missions while grinding to each tower top. It's a pretty cool concept for a bunch of linear missions, but there's one problem. One big problem. So, play any skate game. Any. What happens if you go out of bounds? They reset you. Maybe a little penalty, but usually they put you on the right track. You know why they do that? Because it's logical. But what do Criterion do? When you fall off the buildings,
You have to reset the damn level all over again, redoing every single mission again, regardless of how far you went into it, and you have to grind each tower without a balance bar that still makes you fall, and you have to grind a cable car as a mission that actually goes faster than you, so you have to go backwards. That's still not good enough because each gun's goes on a different route, because for fuck's sake, they want to trap you in this damn stage for 3 hours, and you try endlessly, but you fail miserably because of these goddamn controls, and you see that fail screen so many times that you watch yourself fall, and fall, and fall, because it's one innocent mistake, because you can't fuck up in this game. If you've made a whole race series about fucking up, you keep on trying, and failing, and trying, and failing, and trying, and failing, and trying. I gave up. I tried. I really did try, but I just can't beat the stage. I don't have the patience, I don't have the time, and hell, I don't even have the enjoyment. And the story?
Ethan Palmer, as I live and
Step
breathe.
up, Rent-A-Cop. I'm getting on that train.
Real scary, kid. But let's see how tough you are once I bust a cap in your ass.
One thing that we all decided on for this title was that we were going to use American voices. And we wanted to get it to be really, really authentic.
Real scary, kid.
Don't get me wrong, I can see the effort and passion that went into Airblade.
If I was 10 years old, I would have eaten this up if I had no access to other skate games. I would have loved it. But as it stands, it pales in comparison to other skate games that existed back in those days. Which is a shame because it's really interesting and exciting to see something new in the skateboard genre. You know those dubstep songs that have an amazing build-up only to be ruined by a mediocre drop and terrible main? You know, like all of them? This is what this game is to me. After being stuck in my mind for so many years, to finally discover and play this game is bittersweet. But there are so many mistakes that this unique early PS2 graphic charm of Airblade was really ruined for me. Maybe we'll never achieve flight. Maybe we'll never get the Airblade. Maybe the idea of a hoverboard is best left forgotten. TerryByte! Whoa! Who are you? I'm you from the future. Yeah. You didn't have to interrupt me there. Whoa. So how come your hair isn't grey and you don't look old? Because wigs and makeup are expensive. Ah. Well, what are you doing here? Didn't you know hoverboards exist? Really? In the future? Not at all. They invented it recently. A what? Come, Terry, to the DeLorean? Well, actually, I was gonna say the internet because it's already invented. You know, you can just look it up right now. Oh, but a DeLorean. Okay, fine. Come, Terry. Let's go back to the present. Oh boy. Well, there it is. A lot of people are watching this. I hate YouTube. I'm sure you remember the classic LEGO games. Not the ones based on a movie or comic icon, no, the old ones. The ones rooted, steeped in imagination, and perhaps biting off more than they can chew. Ideas were there, but sometimes the technology wasn't up to par. And hey, what can be a better representation of LEGO itself? Well, back when they just sold blocks, stirring up imagination, and it was
a whole new world to build.
Now it's, oh look, I'm a girl, I like convertibles and friends and handbags and pink. And I'm a boy, now build my set exactly to the instructions because there's no spare parts, yeah. And also this. No, this just, no.
Bazinga.
I used to play a lot of LEGO games on my parents' old PC. I would play LEGO Racers and a pirated version of Legoland for hours on end. I've played both LEGO Islands and was pretty into LEGO back in my little wee days. I would make LEGO guns and grenades and throw them at my friends because I was a dick. So it was kind of a surprise that I actually missed out on a LEGO game, LEGO Rock Raiders. Now for anyone who remembers the name, LEGO Rock Raiders was also a PC game, kind of like a LEGO version of StarCraft. Wow, I never thought I'd say that. And it was ported for the PS1. Well, I've never played this before, so LEGO. Oh. Okay, so we get a cutscene. A full 4-minute cutscene that tells us we're in a different galaxy and we need to
get the fuck out!
I must say, it's a cute little movie with the classic grunts that LEGO men and women make. You know, unlike...
Now find a place to build the copters ride attractions. You'll notice maybe one hedge.
So, we need to collect space gems to power up the spacecraft again. And we have a bunch of levels to choose from. Alright. We'll just do waterways, I guess. Whoa! Different characters! We can pick between a bunch of them, but I don't care at all. Let's just go with the center one, because he looks cool. Like me. Whoa there! Maybe there's 5 characters because it matches the 5 frames of animation there. So after PS1 loading, which really means I can make a sandwich and wash some dishes, we can finally start the game. fuck off. Just fuck off, really? This is what your game looks like? This? Do I need a comment? My god, you're a tiny pixelated sprite in a world of other pixelated sprites that are just spread thinly across to form rocks and mountains. Are you kidding me? Crash Bandicoot made beautiful models and you made
Paper Scorpions.
It doesn't even have the excuse that it was an early PS1 game either. The PS2 came out in March 2000, and Lego Rock Raiders on PS1 came out on August 2000. Or maybe it came out earlier in the EU, I don't know. Europeans are weird. Dum-de-dum-de-dum, where do I go? Just walking through this cave that's apparently allergic to color. I mean, I know it's a dark cave, but did it have to look so unappealing? I feel like I'm looking at a puddle of browns and grey. You can't go in the water? So the special aspect is that you get to mine through rocks, hence the whole mining aspect of the game. But these rocks take forever to just break. Come on. Come on. Hurry up. I can mine for real ore faster than this piece of plastic. Which reminds me, isn't there something missing from this Lego game? Like, actual Lego? Yeah, apart from the machines, which are so pixelated you can't even tell, the only Lego in the game are the people and some token items. Everything else isn't. Like the scorpions, spiders, get away from me! Slugs. Really? Slugs? Is that supposed to be a threat now? Rocks and water, none of it are Lego pieces. Lego doesn't even appear when you blow up the rocks, which would have been the most pristine opportunity. Am I honestly playing a Lego game right now? You don't get to create with pieces, it's just a tiresome collectathon, like Banjo-Tooie. Ah, damn it, I ran out of time. Did I freeze? Well, I guess, it just aborted. Oh. God damn it, now I gotta keep playing it. So, collecting green gems, finding vehicles to drive across water, and mining. Lots and lots of mining. Because when you think of Lego, what do you think of?
Lego, a whole new world to build. Build hotels, animals, people, boats, skyscrapers, and more.
Good music too. What are those, a whole 8 notes? So, I'm just shooting this sad excuse of a weapon. It looks like that slime from Gangrene from Action Man. Wow, I did not think I was gonna go that deep into my memory today. And drilling away. And finally, I finish a level, and we get taken to a results screen. Oh my god, a password? I mean, it's a PS1 game that doesn't use a memory card. I mean, that's good for me, because my PS1 memory card is a bit wonky. You could say it's bricked. Lego bricked. What the hell is this? You couldn't just go with a 4-letter code, which would have been really easy to remember, instead of this complete clutter of buttons? Are you mad? We have passed the NES days. We don't need this anymore. I thought passwords like this were banned.
Long. Together we can vote to make
shorter passwords
a reality.
Well, I'm going to jail for that. But then we get the most broken thing of all. This guy. This guy is a sailor in space. What? His special ability is that he can walk through water. Yeah, the thing that can kill anybody else almost instantly, he just walks through like it's nothing. Which means you can literally just walk through everything and complete each level in a matter of minutes. He completely breaks the flow of the level. Except for the lava levels, he kind of sucks there. And so, we are up to the 6th level so far, and it felt like a goddamn eternity. I can't believe there's 15 more to go. Well, I'm gonna power through it all. Here, there's apparently an ice monster. Ooh, do we get to fight it? Who knows? I mean, all we've been fighting is spiders and slugs. Let's see what this scary alien life form is. Alright, seriously, where's your imagination? Oh. Yeah, okay, let's just skip this sad excuse for a monster and get on to the next level, shall we? What do I do? I'm pressing every button here. Where are the other levels? I eventually decided to exit the menu, thinking there might have been an extra level somewhere else, and... Let go, fuck yourself. I don't understand really. I know there's other levels, but I don't know how to access them. Well, to be fair, I tried for a full 30 seconds, but if it takes that long for me to quit to the menu because I was stumped, then that's a shit menu. It says 21 levels right on the back, and... Wait a minute. Those screenshots look nothing like the game. That's the PC version. The game's a goddamn liar. Okay, I'm sure I can access the other levels somehow, but you know what? I don't care. I have better things to do with my time. I can be doing the most humiliating, depraved, mind-numbing shit, and it'd be better than playing Lego Rock Raiders. You know what? I'm gonna do that right now.
Where did you get them? What? Bazinga. I don't care. Bazinga.
Man, don't you love it when random jokes without any rhyme or reason are just forced down your throat repeatedly? Halloween. How spooky. I don't give a fuck about Halloween. I think most of Australia doesn't actually care either. I mean, this is how much we give a shit about it. See? No Halloween stuff at all. Despite my absolute indifference about Halloween, we're gonna review something spooky, a bit scary. Genies are scary, right?
TerryByte.
Genie from Down Under, a show about a British fop who finds an Australian genie in an opal and hilarity ensues. Now, I'm not sure if this was broadcast abroad, although I do know it was made by both the ABC and BBC, so most likely this was also shown in the UK, and my god, what a show this was. It was on the same vein as Round the Twist, but not as memorable, mainly because of the theme song. Honestly, it sounds like he's scorning you for even wanting to watch this show.
I've served a lot of masters throughout history.
I can't believe you're watching this crap, are you shitting me?
Penelope Towns.
Ah yes, Penelope Towns. For those of you who don't know, she is the biggest bitch in children's media I've ever seen. Angelica levels we're talking about here. Now this may sound a little bit controversial, but I really like Penelope. I mean, if I knew her in person, I'd absolutely drop her faster than Channel 7 dropped Australian Iron Chef. Yeah, that was a thing. But I really like Penelope Towns as a character because damn, she's fun to hate. She has barely any redeeming qualities, and for a spoiled little brat in the early days of the series, that leaves a lot for her to grow. Maybe I've just got a thing for bitchy women, but then again, how can you not love this?
Raining in here too, huh?
Really, I hadn't noticed.
Oh, I hope it stops before the wedding.
Americans, in case you hadn't noticed.
Yeah, fuck America.
Well, at least they haven't stolen the silverware like those Australians.
Fucking bitch. So after some passive-aggressive conversation, so basically normal teenage girl dialogue, Penelope goes upstairs to the attic, and you'll never guess what she finds. A jump scare. Oh yeah, and an opal with a genie in it.
Dad, we're free!
Anyone got a can opener?
It's hard to believe, but back in the day, that effect really blew my mind. Okay, I still don't know how it's done, okay? Happy? So obviously, Penelope gets the shit scared out of her.
You grabbed the opal in your hand. You know, if you wish yourself kind.
And here we finally get a non-panicky introduction to our Aussie genies. And oh my god, I love this guy. Not the character, but the actor, Rhys Muldoon. Anyone around my age probably recognizes him from Play School.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
One of the more recognizable actors of the ABC, and it's pretty hilarious to see them side by side.
Hello. I'm Gloria Grand.
You have one complete day of unlimited wishing, then you have to send us to Australia and set us free. It's pretty straightforward.
Oh yeah, and he has a kid.
A small indiscretion with the Grand Magician's wife. And out popped the young bloke.
Yep, that kid was an accident. The genie fucked somebody else's wife and out popped that baby. What was this rated again? Gee, hello!
And here are your main characters, Penelope, Bruce, and Baz, on a wild, antic-filled adventure filled with the most original jokes.
I think I'd like you to hang around. What are you doing?
Just hanging around?
Ugh, you might as well got a noose and actually hung yourselves. In this first episode, Penelope's mother is getting married to a lord who is
a bit of a square, but I'm really quite him. As a matter of fact, I'm a bit of a cool dude.
Every 90s kid's show's uncool uncle, and of course, she isn't happy. However, Penelope thinks it's all sunshine and rainbows, unaware this marriage is all for her to have a secure future.
And Mummy's going to be very, very happy.
If you could be a fly on the wall right now, you'd see how unhappy your mother really is.
I wish I were then, so I could prove you wrong. No!
It's a beautiful day after all, lady.
Oh my god, that's horrifying!
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, there's your Halloween special. Now let it consume you.
So after a bunch of antics, Penelope decides to help her mother and stop the wedding, much to her mother's surprise and relief.
I beg your pardon?
No worries.
Yep, those two are gonna bang.
I would say this is hackneyed writing and cliche without a doubt, but really, how can you say no to Rhys Muldoon?
Oh, Rhysy.
So at the end of the first episode, Penelope decides to go full bitch mode and wants all the wishes in the world, much to the genie's dismay, as they just want to go back to Australia and be free.
For one day, I can have you for as long as I like, can't I? I have no intention of going to Australia. I won't be seen dead down there. 20 million pounds?
Yes, Master.
500 square miles. How much is it worth?
20 million pounds.
Now that's comedy.
Boy, that was undramatic. That's the sort of scream you make after you find out you're 2 minutes past the breakfast menu at Macca's.
And that was the first episode. Now, unlike my other lookbacks where I look at one episode per season, I'm not gonna do that. Now, there's two reasons why. The first one being, there's only 2 seasons. But secondly, and more importantly, this series have a more overarching plot, and it's about character development. So, it's kind of hard to talk about specific episodes.
It's not as if the episodes themselves are self-contained, they are. It's just that new characters come into play within the story, such as Penelope's mother and her maid, and of course the two antagonists Conrad, oh la la, look at that mullet, and Mayor Gribble, Otto von Meister. These two tour guides, while being absolutely disgusting and dreamy, were part of the family that used to own the opal before Penelope's, so they constantly try to steal it back, unaware of the genies inside. There's also a subplot about how Bruce constantly tries to trick Penelope to wish for his freedom, such as in episode 3, where he tries to fool her into saying it, only for Baz to fuck it up and be transported directly inside the opal. And seeing how Penelope now doesn't hold the opal but is rather inside it, she can't make any wishes.
I could grow old and maybe even die in here.
And then they rot and die. As opposed to dying, then rotting.
No, of course not. Bruce has to convince Penelope's mother to go out and find the opal, and more hijinks ensue.
Your ladyship, take my hand.
Also, Conrad gets trapped in the opal. Oh yeah, there's a subplot about a pseudo-romance between Penelope and Conrad, and then they hate each other. I don't know, this show has so many different things thrown at you. But saying that, Genie from Down Under has some really great jokes too.
Give it to me, Penelope. I wish you wouldn't ask me that, Mummy. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
Haha! Own, bitch! That's what you get for disrespecting Australia! But there are some instances that, well... Did I forget to mention that the genies were, constantly referred to as slaves? Yikes. Each episode is essentially either Penelope's wish going wrong, or these two mullet heads trying to steal the opal back. And while this may seem pretty standard, they are. But most of the episodes are pretty hilarious. Like one episode where Penelope wishes to be rich and be back in England, only to be stopped in customs because the money was stolen by the Reserve Bank, because the money has to come from somewhere. So her family is locked up while the customs man has the opal and makes wishes unknowingly. It's all silly and I love it. And the classic let's fuck with people's love episode.
Soft, fuzzy. I wish it were just plain old-fashioned love.
As corny as that was, I remember laughing my ass off at that scene. I think the success of these episodes run on the fact that a lot of Penelope's wishes backfire, so it's great seeing a bitch getting punished. And not in that way. God, she's 14 for goodness sake. Penelope is, ironically, what makes the show so great, to see her grow, gain empathy for others, even for her genies. And yes, it is fun to see bad things happen to her too. That is until season 2. Because, well... I fucking hate Penelope in season 2. And here's why. So on the season 1 finale, Bruce has a chance to free himself because...
We've only got one wish and we are going to be free!
But at the cost of Penelope and Conrad being trapped in the opal. Yeah, they recycled that idea already. Nice one, ABC. Blackfaced and recycled storylines. Now I can see where Channel 9 got the inspiration from. So anyway, Penelope essentially guilt trips Bruce to remain a genie because he's just as bad as other masters if he does that.
I'm doing this for you and me.
See? Selfish and greedy, like everyone.
Blah blah blah, they remain genies, but under Diana's control, as she now has the opal, and she's a far nicer master. So this is where season 2 picks up, that Penelope really wants the opal back, and who the fuck is that? Where's my wrist? Yes? Where's my wrist, Muldoon? Who the fuck is this guy? He was on Neighbours or something? Or Home and I don't fucking know. Who the fuck is this guy?
This is cruel.
So we get this guy. He's actually a fair replacement, and I do like how they actually recapped season 1 and refilmed him in the role. Anyway, I'm getting off track here. Let's just talk about why Penelope's a cunt. Wow, that was harsh. So Bruce and Diana get married because, you know, their love is so natural and unforced. And it doesn't even include Reese Muldoon, so what's the point? But during the ending, Penelope accepts their marriage and seems happy for her mother and for Bruce to be her new father. But instead, she basically tricks her own kind mother into giving her the opal as a good luck charm, as she doesn't need it anymore after the proposal, and...
I just wish we were back in England. I'm sorry, Bruce, but it's all over between you and Mummy.
What a fucking bitch. That is beyond evil. Ganondorf is looking at that going, man, that is some fucked up shit. And I've seen some fucked up shit. And through this one act, Penelope becomes someone you love to hate to someone you wish would throw themselves in front of a truck. But despite my fiery hate for her, the whole of season 2 is a little bit more clumsy. While it does retain the same charm as the first season for the most part, the episodes are hit and miss. Some of the episodes are incredibly funny, such as Penelope's family put all their family heirlooms on show for a house museum, but finds out that all of them were stolen by her ancestors, including the opal. So they go into a courtroom where they have to prove the rightful ownership, which of course leads to more hilarity.
Objection, Your Honor.
Why are you objecting?
I don't know, I just saw it on television and thought...
Miss Town, do you wish to be thrown in jail?
Certainly not.
So you're telling me a courtroom full of historic figures from 1,000 years ago is more realistic than a regular Phoenix Wright case? Also, Penelope's mother is a badass.
That's just typical of the male attitude.
Oh, she actually made a Tumblr account. And after the judge rules that the opal belongs to no one and must be taken to a museum, 3 different groups of people steal the opal and replace it with a fake one in succession, which is pretty funny to watch. But how was this all resolved?
But you've got their stuff!
But they don't know that, so they're happy.
What? A bitch. But on the other side of the fence, there are some really weak episodes, such as that talent show episode. Although I have to admit, seeing a British-Australian TV show imitate Texans is... well, it's something.
Hey, you got a great country here, too. Of course, your outback ain't near as big as ours back home, but what the heck?
It's about as convincing as my own Australian accent.
Fuck yank cunt.
Oh my god, country music.
Everyone, evacuate from the video. You're about to hear late 90s stereotypical country music. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
I'm a fast-moving girl, freak loose and...
You know, I think the point of this TV show is to just demonize British people. I mean, think about it. Every single British person in the series, except for Lady Diana and her maid, are absolute dickheads. Especially this guy, who's apparently supposed to be attractive. Also, this is how the stock market works.
Investment Montgomery.
He asks all 3 of them out to a date. The same event, mind you, as if they wouldn't find out. Idiot. And so the girls try to get revenge on him. How? By completely ruining his investments, making him bankrupt and launching him into the sky, which the fall would probably kill him. Man, Penelope, you're really trying to make Gannon look like a misunderstood soul, aren't you?
But to be fair to Season 2, it does experiment a lot more with character relationships. I mean, Lady Diana has a new romantic interest, and Bruce gets all huffed about it. It's like they're trying to fool us about thinking they won't get married by the end. As if. This is a kid's show. There's no way.
Yes, Nigel, I will marry you.
Oh, fuck.
But the very last episode of the series, in my opinion, kills the show and any remnants that Penelope can be a decent human being. Her magnus opus in evil deeds. So after a few events, Bruce and Diana get married again, as Penelope in the first episode essentially wiped her memory beforehand. But this time, Bruce reveals he's actually a genie, and Diana, after a tiny bit of internal struggle, decides to free Bruce after the wedding ceremony, so she can wish for a perfect event. Pretty basic stuff. The genies are going to be free, Diana and Bruce are in love and happily ever after, Penelope and Baz become siblings, it's all one big happy family. Except... after a pretty awful wedding ceremony where a bunch of Japanese tourists are getting married in the outback, what? And after everyone is all lovey-dovey, including Conrad with Penelope, are you kidding me? Diana throws her bouquet, and of course, the opal lands in Penelope's hands.
And what do you think Penelope does at the end? Do you think she pauses, thinks and reflects, but then hands the opal back to her mother because she accepts that she's happy? Or maybe she makes the wish for her mother, wishing for the genies to be free, closing her arc.
I wish Mummy to forget all about this genie business. But Penelope! Bye, Penelope.
Oh, come on!
I mean, for fuck's sake, Penelope doesn't actually wish for the ceremony to be over. Bruce and Diana still get married, but they remain genies. They still remain as slaves under Penelope. And look how happy she is. And look how unbelievably okay everyone else is with this.
No hard feelings?
Yeah, no hard feelings.
No, hard feelings all around. This is bullshit. You can't do that. Why is Bruce and Baz so accepting of their fates? She didn't set them free. Hell, that means he's gonna outlive his own wife and remain alone again unless Penelope doesn't do anything.
I don't think I've been more disappointed by a series finale. Actually, that's a lie. Round the Twist has the worst. What the fuck? And that was a Genie from Down Under. Started off strong, but as the series developed, so did Penelope's sociopathic, devious use of people to get what she wants. It's amazing, really. I think she needs to be the top 10 evil protagonist list on BuzzFeed with a silly gif of her saying, "Lol, she was so evil." $28,000 a year, ladies and gentlemen.